Well, there is some good news. I just heard that Shedeur Sanders was just drafted by the Cleveland Browns. I'm not surprised. They have a black GM, so it's not surprising that he would be chosen by a team with a black GM. I just thought that he was going to be a terrible fit. He was having a tough time cosplaying into the role of a professional uh, football player. There, I think he was better fit for a defensive end, some other type of position. And I'm going to show you a couple of clips where I think he represents kind of at the extreme level what a lot of the young blacks encounter here. And I'd like to say maybe they have a hard time cosplaying or fitting in. What would be the code switching there? So let's take a look at this video. Here's one of the videos that we're going to take a look at about Shedeur Sanders.
Bowl in his backyard in Dallas, despite an NFL memo saying if you go to these All-Star games, you have to practice. Shedeur chose not to. At the Combine, it is now well documented some of his formal interviews did not go well. One assistant coach told me in all his years it was in bowl in his backyard in Dallas, despite an NFL memo saying if you go to these All-Star games, you have to practice. Shedeur chose not to. At the Combine, it is now well documented some of his formal interviews did not go well. One assistant coach told me in all his years it was the worst formal interview he'd ever been through. People said that Shedeur was trying to dictate how he wanted things to go and made them feel small. Even at the Pro Day, the entire Big 12 had an event in Dallas. Shedeur was there, but did not work out. He had a showcase instead in Colorado, all of which is to say for a player who had a variety of questions both about the talent level, how he would fit into an NFL system, how he would adjust from his play style in college, but also about the potential culture shock of for the first time playing for someone who is not his father. There were opportunities that Shedeur Sanders could have taken there. He seemed to feel as if he was in an elite category where he could choose the few teams he wanted to go to. Now some of those very same teams that might be considering taking Shedeur today didn't get those opportunities to answer their questions. What team bowl?
And I want you to take a look at another video here. I'll bring it up here. And this is Shedeur giving a woman some jewelry here. Take a look. And here's a video of Shedeur giving the lady the jewelry. I want you to pay attention to a couple things here. We're probably at stopping and started. Let me start it from the beginning. And there's loud music there. Now again, he's hoping for a team to draft him. Well, he's been drafted now, but he's hoping for a team to draft him at this point. And just look at this celebratory environment of a man that has not been drafted yet. Now, you're going to hear him speak, kind of, just pay attention. When he speaks to the teams and things like that, he speaks in a different diction and enunciation, but he's in his element here now. And he's speaking in his, in his element. He's not cosplaying here. Let's listen.
You see, they say I ain't giving. What that 50 thou wow, 60
50 thou wows.
thou wow, 70 thou wow on her neck, yeah.
70 thou wow on the neck.
Yeah.
You see it. I'm not looking like you, but like, I mean.
He said, I ain't shining like you are, but I mean.
It's a little slow.
And he ends up with his catch line. Legendary. And this is a guy that's expecting NFL teams to draft him on the basis that he is legendary. If you just pay attention to the clip here, you listen to what the guy saying. He says, imagine the NFL teams watching this. It's a horrible look. It is. This is why Shedeur Sanders gets the disrespect he deserves. He does not present himself as a leader of any form. In this video, he cares more about bragging about the price of what a chain costs than to actually participate in the NFL draft like a professional in front of millions of people. He has to brag about gifting a materialistic item during the draft. Instead, he looks like a juvenile thug that wants to look good in front of his homeboys and girls, in this case, wishing he was a rapper. Saying the word legendary after every sentence like a fucking robot. This is why organizations did not line up to draft him in the first round. I agree with that. Passing off tacky jewelry, that's not going to impress NFL general managers. And there was just so much other behavior you can think about that. You saw Dion and his son exhibit. Here's another example of Dion speaking about where he wanted son to go play here. Take a listen.
couple teams that I won't allow him to play for.
Whoa.
This is my profession. I know what's behind the curtain. We ain't got to get back there for me to
And this is Tamara Hall here.
understand what's not prominent for my son. I'm not doing it. Ain't no
And
way
he
around.
doesn't listen to you.
Who?
And he's saying, who? What if my son doesn't listen to you? So at this point here, he's saying, hey, my son is going to listen to me more than any coach in the NFL. And, you know, that presents a problem.
No, you must mean owners, like not my son.
You say, you must mean the owners, the people who are going to be paying my son, but not me. And then there was this report coming out of New York. Brian Daboll, the coach of the Giants, apparently he's like a quarterback whisperer. Here's an interview from Brian Daboll. I think this may have been yesterday. Let's take a listen.
The biggest story in the league right now is that Shedeur Sanders is still available. There was a report from Tom McShay that specifically you and him had a meeting that did not go very well. Anything you want to clear up on that or deny or comment on?
Yeah, I'd say we had good meetings with all the guys that came in here on 30 visits. Quarterback meetings were productive, and we're happy with Jackson.
And so again, the Giants drafted someone that apparently was lower rated than Shedeur. And here's a headline from Barstool Sports: the Giants reportedly gave up on Shedeur Sanders when he was unprepared for a meeting. Daboll called him out on it, and it didn't go well from there. Here's a tweet from Pat Leonard: a leak about Brian Daboll's bad experience with Shedeur. Giants draft Jackson Dart. Shedeur plummets into day 3, and Joe Schoen and Daboll declined comment on the fall of a Colorado QB that some in the New York Giants building coveted. Shedeur didn't have a great interview with Daboll in a private visit, McShay said. An install package came in. An install package is kind of like the football plays that they call it install package. Preparation was not there for it. He got called out on it. He did not like it. Brian Daboll did not appreciate him not liking it. The guy goes on to write that we all know that Shedeur Sanders still isn't drafted as of this writing. It's not some conspiracy. Again, this is all reported, but it seems to be way too accurate to be false. You hear McShay talk about it and what everyone else is saying. Sanders came in unprepared. Daboll called him out on it, and Sanders didn't like it. It was over then and there. As a Giants fan, good. I know people would destroy Daboll because of Daniel Jones, but Daboll is a quarterback evaluator. That's how he made his name for himself. And again, that is very devastating there if Shedeur came in unprepared. But as I say, these guys, they are accustomed to playing in the streets, as they like to say, and to cosplay to a corporate environment like the NFL, from giving out that thou wow, as he said, to the young lady as he's giving her a chain here. And this type of look, it plays well in the streets, but it doesn't play well in corporate America and NFL being big business here. Shedeur Sanders just could not cosplay, or maybe he was not willing to cosplay. Maybe he was giving bad advice. Whoever allowed him to be here during the draft, they should have informed him, hey man, why don't you go out and throw some passes? Find a receiver looking to get drafted, someone in the draft, fly him in, let's throw the ball around. No one gave him that advice, not even his father. And so that ended up leading to things like this right here.
Hey, is this Shedeur? This is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good, we're waiting
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're gonna take you with our next pick right here, man.
It's gonna be nothing to do.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
And that's him being trolled by some kids. Again, the media has hyped up Shedeur quite a bit. I'm not sure where it came from, but I think the biggest part of it is that they couldn't be honest about how poor of a player he was and how poorly he would fit in an organization. Again, just take a look at this video here.
Ain't giving. What that 50,000 wow?
50,000 wow, there's no way an NFL GM was going to be looking at him and being very desirous to select this guy. And I think his struggle really represents, at a very high level, a lot of the black people struggle. You listen to his diction here, 50 thou wow. He doesn't talk like that when he's being interviewed on the national scene. But when you get him in his element, even though he's on the national scene here, he's 50 thou wow. And I think the general manager saw this, all of the partying, the built up TV set for his draft. And I think they decided to go the other direction. Now, if we take a look at who drafted him, we're going to see something interesting. I think it was the Browns, and you'll see here Andrew Berry, Cleveland Browns. You'll see here that Andrew Berry is the black GM that would have selected Shedeur here as the black GM. Browns GM gets honest about shocking Dylan Gabriel. So he picked, is that right? Did he pick both of them? Did he pick two in the same draft? Did Shedeur get drafted? Wow, is it? Wow. Here's the GM saying fit comes into play. Now that's very interesting here. Let me. He says fit comes into play here. Shedeur's stock is in free fall. I thought the Browns drafted him. And let's see, what is he saying here? This is Andrew Berry speaking the truth, speaking to the media. Andrew Berry said he targeted Gabriel as the other quarterback that was chosen ahead of him. He says Shedeur is impressive and a really good QB. Sometimes fit comes into play. But I thought I just heard that the Browns drafted Shedeur. Was I wrong about that? Let's see, Shedeur. Let's see, was Shedeur just drafted here? Shedeur Sanders. Who drafted Shedeur? Shedeur Sanders, right? Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders from Colorado to Cleveland. Okay, so Cleveland. Drafted by Cleveland drafts Shedeur here. In what? In round 5? Shedeur Sanders draft slide in round. Browns pick up Colorado QB in round 5 of NFL draft. You know, guys, I'm gonna go out on a limb on another stream and say this may be the end of the career for Shedeur Samuels. It's not going to work here in Colorado, in Cleveland. It's not going to work with his father. It's not going to work with this black GM staff. Andrew Berry is not going to be able to contain Deion Sanders. Andrew Berry, Cleveland Browns. Let's see, GM. Let's see, who is this assistant GM? Let's see, who's the Cleveland Browns assistant GM? Cleveland Browns. A woman? What? 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 A woman is the assistant general manager? Okay, fair enough. And let's see what the front office looks like here. This is very this is very interesting here. Their front office, and they don't have pictures of these guys. The front office here. This is the Browns GM. What? The Browns. This is the fucking Browns. This is their assistant general manager. And even she passed on? What? Unbelievable. This can't be real. Is this really her? Let's pull up this ad. A woman GM here. Assistant GM. Yeah. Let's see what she said. She's been there 2 years? Wow. This is her. This is interesting.
Almost a year now. It was a year first for me for many reasons, but I'm really excited to meet you guys today and for you guys to be here. On that, I'll take any questions.
So what kind of whirlwind has this last year been for you?
Arrived with the Browns in May. I was with the Eagles previously, so came here in this new role as assistant GM, VP of football ops, and then I was pregnant with my first baby, and he was born midway. I was hoping to be there for the joint practice with the Eagles, but I missed it by a day. So he was born August 14th. So I was on mat leave for a portion of the season, and then got back week 10.
My name's Dan, by the way.
Hi.
So how did you get to know Andrew during your time with the Eagles, and kind of what were your impressions of him?
Yeah, so I joined the Eagles in 2019, and he was my direct supervisor. So really quickly, we built a great relationship. And what was great about my role at the Eagles is because Andrew was really involved in everything, helping Howie. So I got to get a glimpse of everything as I grew and developed in my role. And one of the great things about Andrew is if you do a good job, he's going to keep giving some stuff to you and trust you and empower you, which really allowed me to grow super quickly and learn a ton.
And then how did it end up that he reached out to you and you ended up coming to Cleveland? How did that whole process go?
So really the opportunity came when Kwesi got the job in Minnesota. So obviously his role was open at the Browns. So they went.
Kwesi, she's speaking about, I can't remember this guy, but yeah, it was another black GM.
Through the official process for requesting permission and all that stuff. And then at that point, we just started the process, had our conversations, and then felt like it was a good fit for me to take on that new responsibility and join the Browns.
Andrew gave you some great high praise yesterday, which was really cool. But you're really one step away from becoming the first bona fide GM female in the NFL. Do you feel ready for that? And are you excited about it?
Well, I'm excited to in this role. To be honest with you, I'm excited to be with the Browns. I learn daily. I'm eager to learn. I feel that you are never done with learning. That's one of the things I think is very important. So I am really focused right now on helping the Browns, contributing to the success of.
Wow, and that's the GM of the Browns. And here's the guy that she was speaking of here when she mentioned Kwesi. This is a Kwesi. Apparently, this is a Ghanaian guy. I know that by the name Kwesi. Hired as the Minnesota general manager. Apparently, she used to work with him. He worked with the Cleveland Browns. General manager Andrew Berry here. So very interesting. So we get to see kind of the face of the people who were behind the drafting of Shedeur Sanders here, a white lady and a black GM. Very interesting, guys. Thank you for joining. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button. Thanks again.